Hello everyone, it's Matt here and welcome to the April vlog. There's a little list of things on my other screen to get through, so forgive me if I have a look to that. The first thing I want to talk about is LEGO events, and last weekend I actually did one in Bromwich. I think it was last weekend. Yes, it was last weekend. In Bromwich Hall Gardens. So it was just, I think it was about 5-6 displays in total, at most. So went there, little event, so really small, but it was good to go. I actually did display some of my models as well. So the brickliner, if you like, got out for a bit. A few people had a look at it. Quite a lot of kids were interested in all the details because I had the observation car open, so you can see all the people sitting down eating food and having drinks and all that sort of stuff. So that seemed to go down really well. There's actually one man who came in who saw in glimpse of all the Lego and then went immediately to my train. So I was just like, clearly there's something I'm doing right with that. But obviously, like I've said in other videos, there's still a lot to do in terms of parts and that sort of thing. And speaking of events, my little brick badge has now gained a few more. So I've obviously got my name, the logo I'm in, and trains, and then I've also got all the event ones. So this is the Castle Bromwich one. It's a nice green one, and then we've got another trains one. Brick Factor, why not? You know, not many people are going to have one of those, or be eligible to have one of those, I should say. There's a Lego house brick for the Airfall Test preview event in August last year. One for Lego Masters, because I did appear on it. I did actually appear on TV as well, in the background, but I was on TV. And then the Fan of the Rick one for last year. So essentially, and I think Lug's ambassador Mike said it best, is that you're best off just having your lug and the event badge. So effectively, if you see me at an event, I'll probably just be wearing that. And that's probably it. All this bit will either be in a display somewhere or alternatively off to one side, so you can sort of say, here's all the events I've done, but you know, it's a bit heavy because obviously that is starting to weigh down a lot. What I might do as well is start getting, if I do have the BC lug year bricks, now we're an R lug, and I'll start having those on. Those will actually start weighing this down as well, so I kind of don't want them on here. So yeah, that's something to consider as well. So I'll just think about that for something in the future. With regards to the next events I'll be volunteering at or displaying at or anything like that, I'll probably won't be displaying, just volunteering. Will probably be Liberty Bricks in July on the 14th at the Shropshire County Showground, and then after that it'll either be Brick Live in Birmingham in October, if that is when it's going ahead, or Bristol Bricks in November. Possibly. It depends on between now and then, because obviously it's only April. You know, it's the 9th of April. You know, there's a lot to do between now and then. Collect more minifigures. Obviously we've got Series 18, the birthday series, if you like. And I have a policeman! It has taken ages to find a policeman. Everywhere I've gone has either not had them or had them rifled through already. And it was purely by chance I actually got one of these, because I went into Zero Smiths today, started rifling through the top box I got on the display. That was been fairly rifled through, but then I noticed there was one underneath, not on that on the lower shelf. I got the top open, so I wasn't opening it, and I was like, well, normally it's at the back, about 3, 4, possibly 5 positions back from what people have been saying. Check the third one, it was a rocket guy. The next one along, check that. Okay, that feels like the policeman's hat. That feels like the base plate, and that feels like it's 1x2 tile. And I pushed it to managed to push it to the side and packaging until it went, yeah, that kind of looks like it. And then I felt the tile, 1x2 tile. It's the only one in the series with a 1x2 tile, so I definitely knew I got the policeman. So I'm really happy about that. There's only 2 others from the that series I want, which is the dragon and the male brick suit. I've already got the female brick suit, the unicorn guard, and a few other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is build like when I eventually go around to a city, I'll do sort of a display. I'll have a fantasy land, and these will be in there as well. Or maybe I'll do a brick land or something like that and have them in there as a bit of a tie into the fact you can't call things like you can't have anything branded with Lego unless it's from Lego themselves. Obviously, Brickland doesn't invalidate that. So the other thing to talk about CMFs is there's a hell of a lot to go through on top of my units on the wall. So those have essentially just got to be broken up. But I might do a couple of photos and put them onto Instagram and sort of say, here's all these CMFs I'm actually having to break up for parts or for space, and do that sort of thing like that. Might keep one or two as is to dot around places in the future, but probably just going to break them all up for parts and that sort of thing. The next thing I want to talk about is sort of like the content for the channel. Essentially, I've been producing quite a lot of content and it's starting to pile up sort of other things and pieces. My shooting table, or where most of my videos are taken now, is actually full of the Lego from the jungle display video I did. So I'm slowly breaking some of that up for parts, and the vehicles I'll keep as is. I'll put them to one side. The little sort of like super-sized Venus flytraps, they'll be put to one side, probably with the vehicles in a box somewhere, and I'll label it up and shove it away to be stored for the future. The figures are going in one of the wall bits in one of the large trays, so they're going to be all sorted together, if you like, along with some of the accessories for them, and the little motorised twin hull kayak sort of thing that's in there, that sort of things. And there's all this as well. This all needs to be tidied as well, because it's essentially just been sort of, for some of the things like the polybags, build a set and then just show it to the side, and it's starting to pile up. So for example, we've got a Toys R Us truck, so from that haul, so that sort of needs to be dealt with and that sort of thing. So and I can tidy up and have a sort through and get rid of some of the stuff, put some of the other stuff into where it should be, in the storage bins or in here or wherever, and I can get everything nice and tidy, and I can start doing a few of the bits and pieces. So gaming, obviously, I've started doing a bit on Train Valley 2. I've done 3 episodes so far, so episode 1 was 1 to 3, 2 was 4 and 5, and 3 was 6 and 7. I'll probably be if I have got the time, no guarantees, if I have got the time, I'll do recordings of a few more, and sort of like these speed playthroughs where I don't narrate it. It's just, they're easier to produce, quicker, and that sort of thing. Bizarrely, they're actually quicker to produce, because I can just slip down the video, insert a few music tracks, leave it to render, and then upload it. Job done. In regards to gaming, we have the Euro Truck Simulator 2 event, so that's going on. I'm going to be doing, I've already done 3 out of 10, so there's still another 7 deliveries to do in or out of Sweden, so I want to try and get that out of the way as well as soon as possible. And then obviously, aside from that, we've also got the Overwatch event, which is actually starting midnight tonight, or sort of like midnight tonight / morning tomorrow. So that's going to be a great one to get into, because that's the Overwatch Archives one, which was Uprising last year, but they're going to change it around so it's Archives, so represent Overwatch history, which is really nice. But wait and see what else comes out. And lastly, taking it back to Lego, obviously got to talk about the brick model railroad box cars and that sort of stuff. The reddish brown one, which is actually behind me all the way at the back there, is now, I'd have said 99% complete, possibly 98, if you're being picky. The only things left on it are the underframe and any decals or printing and that sort of stuff. And it should be being lettered as a Pennsylvania Railroad boxcar. I have ordered those decals from Brick Model Railroader. So when this massive order arrives with all the instructions and all these decals and all this sort of stuff, including a new caboose kit, so I did have chatted to them about that. So it's one of each of all their current kits, so a boxcar, flat car, tank car and hopper and a caboose with a lighting kit. I did go for the lighting kit as an extra. Then got decals for I think 3 flat cars, 1 hopper, 1 box car I think. I need to, obviously I've got the record saved so I can have a look at that. But regards to box cars especially, I've got that one here, and I've also started work on the lug one. So it's going to be presented in this nice sort of like regular blue colour. This is as far as I've gotten with the pieces I've got. So most of this was stuff from stock, along with stuff that was ordered or delivered in the last couple of Bricklink orders, or from ones last month in March. Especially these sort of like 1x2x5 bricks. So they were quite common. They came in that order. So there's quite a lot obviously missing, you know. There's all this bit here for the doors. The ends are missing as well. It's just quite a lot to get through and polish up. So it's going to look really nice when it's finished. And then obviously it's got to go for all printing. So I've got to speak with the ambassador about that, because obviously he'll be the one who's got the rights and sort of say, you know, it's a licensed, you know, you've got to have this printed in a certain way by certain vendors, that sort of thing. So I've got to speak to him about that. But yeah, you know, it's here, it's getting there in terms of progress. So yeah, this should be fairly easy to build. It's not got a lot of rare parts. You know, blue's a fairly common colour. You know, blue, yellow and red are pretty much the main Lego colours, with the exception of like black and white. So this should be a fairly easy car to build. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to having another one of these built. I've started wishlisting parts for the hopper. So I'm probably going to be building 2 of those at the moment. I might increase the stats for a 3rd, so I can get 3 built and do that sort of thing. Obviously then I need the components for them, so the wheels, on all the tiles, the plates, bricks and that sort of stuff. So obviously that's something to consider. So I might just sort of pop one off the production line and then see about it. I do want at least 2. But the thing is that I was kind of noticing this, and if you ever go on to historic videos and that sort of stuff, a lot of the box cars and hoppers and gondolas and everything else are very boring colours. It's browns, greys and blacks for the most part, with maybe a few other colours. So I want to do sort of spicing up. So obviously I've got the blue lug box car. I'm probably going to do a red hopper. They're not going to be that common, but it will be nice and eye-catching, you know, and I'm going to probably do a fictional lettering for it. I might get a few other decals for the other hoppers. It remains to be seen. But yeah, you know, that's the status of that. I think that's everything I've got on the list for this update. So that's this vlog over with. So obviously there'll be some more videos coming, but I can't say when, because I've got other stuff to do, like the room tidying and stuff to do for work and all that sort of stuff. So this has been Matt, and hopefully I'll see you in a video coming up soon-ish, maybe. Bye.